Well, good morning. Longhaultanker here. I say good morning. It's probably straight up 12 noon on this, what is it, the 13th day, Tuesday of January 2025. And I'm going to do a straight razor shave. Anyway, that's kind of where we're at. I don't have much to say. I'll get it done quickly. I may put up a graphic or two at the beginning of the video, but let me just introduce the equipment and then we'll move on. My razor for today, and I've had one shave since the last video. This is day number 3 on the whiskers, and so 3 days ago I used a full hollow Wade & Butcher, the barber's notch. Beautiful razor. You've seen it before in action, engraved on the scales, Wade & Butcher, celebrated, etc., etc. Pre-1891, very highly polished and honed on the Shaft and Glass series up to 30,000. And so it's a super sharp razor, very nice, very comfortable razor as well. And I tell you that because also the soap that I used was the new Martin de Condré Magellan with the nice spice scent, Martin de Condré Magellan. And so I wanted to use those two soaps again. One was off camera. This one will be on camera. So again, like the last video, it'll be the Martin de Condré Martin de Condré Absinthe. Absinthe will be my soap today. There's the lid. There's the box. I always like holding these things up so you can see them instead of just going flash, flash, because who knows? By me holding it up and you getting a good look at it, you might decide to buy it and you want to see what I'm holding in my hand exactly, rather than this sort of thing. So you guys that do this, knock it off. Hold it up there for a good 15 seconds so people can see what you have in your hand, because you're representing the product. You just don't want to flash it and, well, they'll know what I got. No, they don't. People don't know. Nothing. They don't know anything. Anyway, so there's that. My brush, I am using the larger 30 millimeter boar bristle from Sterling Soap Company, and of course it's just a wonderful brush. And the razor of the day is American Steel. It's a wonderful razor honed on the 30,000 Shaft and Glass, and it is a Robeson Sure Edge. Let me see if I can get it in there. Robeson Sure Edge. Got good engraving. Yeah, full hollow. A little bit bigger than 5/8, but not quite a 1/2 inch, or 6/8 rather. So there's that. All right, so we got the soap, we got the brush, we got the razor. Let's get it lathered up and going. I've had a haircut and a shower this morning. My wife is out to a doctor's appointment this morning. And she, I'm not going to go into all the details there, but she, everything's good, everything's fine. She went to, she gets an annual injection of a certain substance, medication, that helps with osteoporosis. And she doesn't have osteoporosis, but she has conditions that can make osteoporosis more likely in older age. And we don't want her to have osteoporosis, so she gets the injection. She's been doing this now for several years. I use the smaller Sterling 28 millimeter brush on the Magellan and the last video, or last shave. I didn't put that on video, of course. You haven't seen it. And so I thought I'd use the larger one today using the absinthe again. And so I don't have a lot to say. I do want to say, before I get too far along in the video, that I support ICE. I support mass deportation. That's what we voted for. And to deny, as some politicians are doing, that that's not what the election from 24 blah, 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 blah. Whoever says that is not paying attention. It's exactly what we voted for, is mass deportation of illegal aliens. And no, I'm not talking about aliens from Mars. I'm just, in a legal sense, that somebody who is not subject to is an alien. I know people don't like that, but tough beans. And so that's really, I support ICE. I support anybody that says that the private citizen, I say private citizen, no one has a right to disobey an order from law enforcement, and ICE is law enforcement. And so when you look closely at the video, you don't even have to look closely. The wheels on the vehicle are not turning. The vehicle is not moving. The ICE agent is standing in front of the car, and there is a deliberate attempt either to run over the agent or to evade his order, get out of the car. And so anytime a citizen anytime a citizen disobeys or evades an order of law enforcement, they run the high risk of being shot dead. And we've all seen movies from ages ago, cowboys and outlaw days, stop in the name of the law, stop or I'll shoot. Because law enforcement has the inherent authority to command a citizen, and the citizen has the legal obligation to obey law enforcement. And you can either comply or you can be carried out dead. And so I'm okay with that. And I've never had, I've had a few traffic stops, both in my personal private vehicle and as a truck driver in a commercial vehicle. I've been pulled over for various reasons, and most of the time for nothing more than just a roadside inspection. Innocent, you don't know what. Of course, what's her name? There's so much mental illness running around in our country today, not the least of which are these confused, am I male, am I female? What is marriage? Marriage between a man and a woman, et cetera, et cetera. And so, I just don't have, if you want to play stupid and play stupid games, don't be surprised if you end up with a stupid surprise or stupid prize. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, is the saying. And so, which only further compounds the expression FAFO. And she found out. And all of the commentary. Here's the other thing. For all you legal eagles and scholars out there, as I recall, that there is such a thing as a case from early days of the Republic, Marbury versus Madison, which places federal law in a superior position to state and local law. And so whatever these morons are saying at the state and local level, Minneapolis mayor, Minnesota governor, they're bringing a lawsuit again. They're going to lose. It's a waste of time and money, and they're going to lose. Everybody knows they're going to lose. And the executive branch and the president have command of the federal government. That's why they call him the commander-in-chief. All right, that's all I got to say on that. And it don't take a legal genius to know these things. I've known them all my life. And so, especially in regard to those things that the Constitution makes specific reference to, and immigration and naturalization is one of those things that the Constitution makes specific reference to, that puts the president, all things not delegated to the federal government by the Constitution are reserved to the states and the people thereof. Well, immigration and naturalization do not apply in that regard. That is to say, they do not revert to the state or the people, because it is something that the Constitution makes specific reference to, that the administration, that, what is it, Article 3, I forget what article it did, the executive, the one that outlines the executive powers, is made reference to. But I don't think they teach civics in high school. Teach civics in high school, and I don't. And unless a person reads about the organizational structure, they're not going to know anything about it from any sort of formal training at the secondary or even college level. Oh, that's just very nice, very smooth. This is one of those razors that I bought from eBay, off eBay, being sold by J.R. Growens. I don't remember exactly, it's been a while. But several of the older vintage razors that I have that have been cleaned up and they were honed and sharpened by him. He disappeared in 2020. It's my suspicion that he, from the Los Angeles area, he was from the Los Angeles area. It's my suspicion that he died, regretfully to say. I have no evidence, I have no facts, but the timing, he just disappeared off the face of the earth in 2020. Well, what else was going on in 2020 that might have made that happen? And that was the COVID outbreak. Well, my wife and I have kind of slowed down on the last little bit that we've got to do on our shed. We put on some trim work around the windows. I think today, if we do anything today, it's going to be trim work and caulking around the door, which is not a big project. And then probably come the weekend, we'll probably do much more of the trim around the upper reaches, around the gable, around where the siding, LP smart siding comes together and there's a seam. We'll caulk that seam and then put on the trim work. It's just a 1x4 trim work that we're putting on, and then caulk it. But I'm not expecting to have to do too much today. My wife had a busy day at work yesterday, so we didn't do anything, which is not exactly true. At about 4:30 yesterday, she came and got me and she said, let's go do the caulking around the window, which took all of 45 minutes. I thought I heard a noise outside. She might be home. I talked to her before I started the shave, and she was at the grocery store. She had finished her doctor's appointment. So the absinthe soap, as I said in the last video, has a very nice, very fresh, minty scent. Yeah, she's home. She just came in the front door. And she'll probably go to her little back office and get busy on work. You might say that my wife is the head recruiter, senior recruiter, director of recruiting at the company she works for. That's not an official title, but that's the practical nature of the work that she's doing. Is there's nobody else. She has at least one, maybe two subordinates that she directs in the activities. Hi. I'm recording. You want me to stop recording? Yeah? I'll be back in a minute. All right. Thank you for being patient. I'll probably edit all of this out, but that was a duration of about 15, 20 seconds. All right. So that's the end of the first pass with the grain. We will move to against or across the grain. We're going to do a 3-pass. With 3 days of whiskers, we'll do a 3-pass. Okay. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. A community signature dark roast. I had a pretty good sized bag of that community signature dark roast, and I've used several of the smaller containers of the Folgers 1850 Black Gold, I think it's called, and I just love that stuff. And this is good too. My wife bought it, not knowing how good the Black Gold was, and so probably won't have the community much more after this bag is emptied out, because that Folgers 1850 Black Gold is just so magnificent. It's just, I love it. Absolutely love it. And I've never tried these specialty brands that are advertised on certain shows. And I just don't have any interest in. I can only imagine how much they cost. They're probably 5 times more expensive than the Folgers. One thing I've noticed about those kinds of things that are sold and promoted by these television stars, that I'm thinking, even on Steve Bannon's War Room, he's got some guy that he promotes, and I haven't gone to look at their stuff, but they usually have these undersized small bags, and they charge 5 times what you can buy something like the Folgers 1850 for. And I will say that I've not gone to investigate it that closely, but and Folgers may not be the most socially conscious from a conservative perspective. That is to say, they may be as woke as all get out. But sometimes when the product's good, you just buy it. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Got a good edge. It's delivering a smooth shave. I cannot complain. I've never had any difficulty with this razor. Love it. All right, against the grain, pass number 3. All right, I think that's it for the face shave. So let's move along to the head shave. As I say, I had a hot shower this morning when I got up out of bed. And a haircut before that. Haircut always comes first. You can rinse off in the shower any of the hair clippings that remain on your, behind your ears, on the back of your neck, on top of your head. I'm going to put my brush down in my water, let it soak, let the soap start melting out. All right, I'll just put it down in there. Oh yeah, it feels real nice. Nice and smooth, good. All right, let's do the back of the neck. And I always get requests to turn around and show the shaving of the back of my neck, which is fine. I prefer not to do it, but I'll do it every once in a while. All right, that's it for the head shave, the neck shave. All right, let's see here. We're gonna dry off and I could just as easily dip it into the water, do a little rinsey rinse on it, and then come back with the final wipe off on the dry rag. My gray rag is my dry rag. All right. Scales, look inside the scales, make sure there's no water droplets down in there. So set that aside so it's out of the splash range. All right. Ozma alum block. Feels good, actually. Just enough, a little bit of a sting to know that you had a good shave. Nothing harsh. Come back with my washcloth and wash all the alum off, or just dampen it off. And always be sure to keep your alum away from your steel, from your razors, because it will leave a stain. And it's just a terrible thing, and I know from experience that you get one of those little black stains on a $500 razor and you're kicking yourself. Oh, what did I do? How did I get that off? Well, good luck. But I'm just warning you. From one generation to another, one experience level to another. Dude, there's a lot of the old timers that would say, if you're having a hard time stretching your skin, take your alum block, rub your fingers on your alum block, and stretch your skin and shave. Oh, no. Don't do that. I mean, yes, it works, but it will stain your razor faster than anything. If you have any experience, in the notes, in the comment section, leave a comment if you've ever had any experience getting an alum stain on a carbon steel, or for that matter, any steel, razor, straight razor. So I'm dumping out my tub that I use for my shave water, because I cannot stand my bathroom sink. And then I will rinse out my brush later after I've terminated the recording. Dry off my countertop a little bit. So I got some room to work, dry room to work. All right, there's that. Let's put the Allen block away because we're done with it for right now. And the next step is I could go with some aftershave balm. I don't intend to. Or I go, the Allen block, the little bit of sting on the Allen block takes out the sting of the alcohol. And so when I apply the alcohol-based aftershave, a good 50% or more of the sting of the alcohol is gone. Now the absinthe smells so much, the scent on it is so much like a mint. And I don't have a mint, but what I do have is the lime sec. And that's pretty close. Lime, mint. And that is that the alcohol hit is not as serious, not as grave as if I had not used the Allen block. You've used alcohol-based aftershaves before on a face that you've not prepped, no Allen block, no nothing, no aftershave tonic like Thayer's or something, and you just hit it with the alcohol and it feels like your face is on fire. You don't get that. And there's nothing more alcohol-based than Pinaud aftershaves. So that's as far as I'm going today. I'm going to do a rinse on my brush, clean up my countertop, and that's it. I'm done. Thank you for staying with me. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you down the road.